What's up, YouTube? Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can keep getting these videos when they drop. Make sure you share my videos. Now look, check it out. One of Nipsey's close friends in New York was shot and killed yesterday. Now I don't think this is related to Nipsey's death at all, though, people will speculate and try to merge both of the situations together, make it seem like this has something to do with Nipsey's death, but me personally, I don't believe it has anything to do. Now, anyhow, the victim's name was Arsenio Grafsande. I don't know if he's a Puerto Rican or not. They do have a lot of Puerto Ricans. It's diverse in New York. Anyway, he allegedly told the NYPD detectives, "Fuck you, son," with his last breaths before he died. The NYPD detectives was attempting to find out who the shooter was, though Arsenio didn't tell them anything, according to the police. This guy is viewed as a hardcore street dude in the eyes of many people for that act right there. Him not giving up any information and knowing he was going to die says a lot, and says that he was a solid dude in the eyes of most street dudes in New York. Apparently, there were 5 deadly shootings in the New York area over the past 24 hours, and his was one of them. The shooting took place in the Brownsville section of Brooklyn. We all know that Brooklyn is active, though I hear from, a lot of people who reside there that it's one of the most coolest places to live in New York City. Anyway, Arsenio was allegedly a gangbanger, according to police, and he was 28 years old at the time of his death. I know police will slander black men's names when they get involved in any type of mishaps. So I'm not too sure if this guy was an active gang member or if the police is mad because he didn't cooperate with them before he died. Anyhow, there was an alleged beef with Nipsey's friend. Now, we don't know who that beef was with. I know people know, but people that's close to him know, and people that was probably there know. But there was some alleged beef that took place, and the shooting occurred around 9:20 p.m. on a street corner in Brooklyn. And he was hit in the hip on Union Street and Sutter Avenue. Now, to some people, he was a known Crip, allegedly, and I'm guessing he might have been from the New York faction of the Rolling 60s Crips. And I do know that Nipsey used to go to New York and hang out all the time with a lot of the Crip dudes. He even did videos out there, so it's not unusual that a lot of guys will be claiming Rolling 60 Crips and other Crip gangs. At first, no one believed that the shooting to the hip was life-threatening because it was in the hip. But according to the first responders, his cousin, who rode in the ambulance with him, said that she knew that he was going to die. Said that he knew that he was going to die and was telling her to grab certain items from his belongings. I guess people know when they're about to transition and go to the other side, and this is what his cousin was saying. Also, he was saying he couldn't breathe, which is strange to me because he was shot in the hip. I don't understand how that could affect anyone's breathing, though I've seen many strange things take place when people were shot. Anyway, also she said it was like his spirit wasn't at peace. So a lot of things came into play. Maybe he was gang banging. He was living that life. When you in the streets, you just be tired of you be tired of everything. Your soul is tired and weary. It's like, damn, I'm shooting at people shooting at me. I'm robbing people, I'm selling dope, I ain't doing nothing right. And maybe his soul was tired and he felt it. He knew. She rode in the back of the ambulance with him, and she got to see what was going on, what it was up close and personal. The doctors at the hospital did confirm that the bullet struck multiple arteries and when he went into emergency surgery. They also said that he couldn't be saved, though, because of that. And I do know of one person that was shot in the leg and it hit his artery and he died from that. A lot of times people don't feel like if you get shot in the leg or the arm or something that you would die because it's a leg or the arm and it's not like a vital part like being shot in the neck or the head or the chest or something. But you can die if it hits a major artery, and this is the situation in this case. Prayers go out to his family and to his children if he has any, because I know they going through it right now. Your family always go through it when something like this happen. You're out in the streets. You don't think that this type of behavior affects your family, but it does. So, prayers going out to his family and his children. I don't know if he was a bad or a good dude, though he was a young black man. So I will say that it's a shame that a lot of our young men keep dying in these streets. So anyway, rest up, King. I believe this is the third person, to my knowledge, that were close to Nipsey that have been killed. Producer was killed that was close to Nipsey. In LA, everybody know about that. If you don't know, he was killed, and no one knows who did that as of yet. They haven't had no suspects or whatever. Anyway, people, we need to stop this madness and allow our differences to be settled in a different manner. We have to be able to sit down as men and talk to one another and talk out our differences, because shooting one another ain't gonna solve the problem. Anyway, Nipsey's trial date is slowly approaching, and on the 29th of this month, to be exact. Now, in my own personal experience with the court systems, I believe that they will continue this trial date to a later date. I know everybody been waiting, everybody ready for the trial date to commence, and a lot of times it just don't go as planned. It don't go that way. Murder cases are complex, and many elements go into play when prosecuting and trying someone for murder. Unless the defendant accepts a plea deal or the case is dismissed. It's probably gonna go on to next year, depending on certain circumstances. I wouldn't be surprised. So anybody that's really just anxious and waiting, don't be surprised if this court date gets continued, which I'm leaning towards that, and I really believe it'll happen. I think it might open our eyes to something. I don't know, because I'm thinking it's going to get continued, but hopefully it will, and it'll shed some light on the case, and we'll find out some new information. I wouldn't want to see or hear about any situations like this shooting, though, reaching Nipsey's trial, because who knows? The prosecutors might try to use it against him because of this guy that was killed being a close friend of his. They know how to put a spin on cases and make it look like gang activity when we know otherwise. So I pray, I just hope that don't happen. And I also pray for the people in Brooklyn and Queens, New York as well, because of the other killings that took place and the loss to the families. Like I said, it was 5 other shootings that happened, and those people died. It was some in Brooklyn and some in Queens. It started at a party in Queens over loud music, and person was shot in the head multiple times, and it just kicked off. I guess that energy circulated around New York, and it kicked off killings. Anyway, prayers go out to the families. It seems like they're trying to attach every little negative situation to Nipsey, and we can't let that happen. It's justice for Nipsey all the way. So we're going to keep pushing that, keep putting out these videos, and we just going to sit back and see what happens, But in the meantime, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell so y'all can keep getting these videos when they drop. And make sure you share my videos. Peace out.